said Dana?
Dana, Chelsea's going to present, and then if they have any questions for staff.
Thank you. Say that again.
You don't see your student teacher.
There's 60 10th graders currently in English at our middle school age.
Two levels.
Not so much.
Well, good evening and welcome to the City of Douglasville's Planning Commission. I am Francisco Artley, the chairman of the Planning Commission. The other members of the Planning Commission are Keith Barnett, the vice chair, Natalie Fegan, Nathan Zachary, Ralph Benton, and Mark Van. The staff members are Miranda Jordan, staff attorney, Dana Gray, community development director, Chelsea Tubbs, planning and zoning administrator, and Camille Brown, planner one. There are a few protocol items I need to make you aware of before we start the meeting. Please listen closely on how tonight's meeting will be conducted. Keep your comments and presentation on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this commission to make its decision. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. You will receive a warning from the chair if you deviate from this requirement. A second deviation will result in a request for you to leave the meeting and the premises for the evening. Refrain from any applause or comments from the audience. Only one person will be talking at a time, and all comments will be made at the podium after the speaker has been recognized by the chair. Please direct all comments to the chair and the commission, not to the audience or the staff. Please do not applaud or react to speakers, speak from the audience, cheer, carry on a conversation with others in the audience, or disrupt the order of this meeting in any way. Be aware that these hearings are not a debate or an opportunity to ask questions which must be answered by any individual tonight. but are merely an opportunity to present information to the commission. Other than the applicant, no person may speak more than once. The applicant may reserve part of their speaking time as a rebuttal and may speak next and last and may use the entire 20 minutes allotted for the pro side of the application. Other than the applicant, no person may speak longer than 5 minutes. If you have a cell phone or any other electronic device, I ask that you either power them off or put them on silent mode. If anyone wishes to speak tonight, please fill out a form available at the table up front and hand it to the staff before approaching the podium. After the case is called, we will hear next from the staff regarding any relevant information to this case. The commission members will be free to ask questions at any time before the vote on a project. Following the applicant, anyone who wishes to speak for or against the project or just ask questions will have an opportunity to do so. The city ordinance restricts each side to a maximum of 20 minutes, or time may be waived at the discretion of the presiding official. If questions are raised, we may ask the applicant to speak again. Afterwards, we will call for a motion and a second and have any necessary discussion regarding the item. Then we will vote to recommend or denial of the application. Recommend approval or denial of the application. This commission is only a recommending body. The items will be heard by the mayor and city council, whether we recommend approval or recommend denial. All items will be heard by the city's mayor and council at their legislative meeting on Thursday, August 13th, and then voted upon them by them at their meeting on the following Monday, August 17th. The first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from July 7th. Is there any need for discussion? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from July 7th,
Do I have a s-
2026.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the minutes are approved from July 7th. Is there any old business? Okay. The first case is item 26-263. Hold a public hearing and consider a request for a special land use permit for a personal care home for property zoned R2 Single Family Residential Detached District for plus or minus .36 acres located at 7145 Stonecrest Drive in land lot 733, District 1, Section 3, parcel ID 073301300012. Application by Zenith Crest Living. Staff will now present the item.
Good evening, Planning Commissioners. Chelsea Tubbs, 6758 Spring Street, Planning and Zoning Administrator. The proposed property is zoned R2 Single Family Residential and is also surrounded by other R2 Single Family Residential properties. The applicant is proposing to operate under the proposed use of a personal care home in our allowed UDO, which our code requires that it is approved by special land use permit for the approval for 2 to 6 residents. The home will serve adults 55 years of age and older for those who only require assistance with activities of daily living but do not require skilled nursing care. The applicant has provided you all a letter of intent within the packet to highlight the services that will be implemented at the home. I'll just read a few of them off, not completely all of them. Some of those services will include laundry, 24-hour supervision and staff's availability, assistance with personal hygiene, mobility, medication reminders, and assistance, 3 times a day meals and activities for engagement and learning. Regarding the transportation and parking on the property, they're required to have 1 parking spot per resident bed. And although said premises has an existing driveway to accommodate for parking for visitors and staff, transportation will primarily be provided by those family members, legal representatives, non-emergency medical transportation providers, ride-share services, and other authorized transportation providers. And that concludes. I can answer any questions that you all have.
All right, are there any questions? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Will the applicant come forward and state their name and address for the record? Tell us what you intend to do on this property.
Good evening, Chairman, Commissioners, and planning staff. My name is Deborah Chermatin, and I am the administrator/owner for Zenith Crest Living. The address is 7145 Stone Creek Drive, Douglasville, Georgia. I am a registered nurse with a bachelor's degree in nursing and also with a master's degree. I have been a nurse almost 15 years, taking care of adults, especially our veterans. This experience that I have inspired me to create a home where older adults can receive compassionate support while maintaining their dignity and also their independence. The proposed permit personal care home will be for up to 6 adult residents, age 55 and above. This will be in a quiet family-style residence setting. The residents will will be assisted with activities of daily living such as bathing, grooming, dressing. All this is assistance. Also be provided with nutritious meals, housekeeping, medication reminders. I will make sure that the home always maintain its residential appearance and character. I do have a driveway which can fit up to 6 of the street parking. I am also committed to also make sure and be a responsible neighbor and also operate with compliance to the state and also with the local requirements. I respect and ask that this recommendation for approval for this special land permit use is approved. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board?
Was this property recently transferred to you?
I recently bought the home.
Okay, but it was transferred from a trust?
I think it was a trust.
Okay.
No, it was not transferred, it was purchased, I bought it.
A normal purchase? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any?
Yeah, I have a quick question. So, hi, are you actually going to reside in the home as well, or no?
Yes, I will be residing in the home.
Okay, you
As
live
a matter
there
of
as
fact,
well?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will be the main supervisor, owner, taking care of them.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this project, ask questions, or make other comments? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there anyone who would like to speak other than in favor of this project? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there any need for further discussion?
I think we should discuss a little bit. This is one of those things that in the past I hadn't necessarily been the biggest fan of, because it's sort of like bringing a commercial situation inside of a residential setting. But this situation is the owner's actually going to live there, which sort of changes things for me a little bit. And so I just thought we might want to talk about that a little bit.
Okay,
It's a little different than what we've heard before.
okay.
What do you think, Natalie?
I think what we heard before was okay, so I think it's all okay.
I get that too, and it's okay that we disagree. That's what we're here for, right? But I think that
Yeah,
It being-
it's her property, she's gonna live there, she's a registered nurse.
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay. How many, ma'am, how many bedrooms are there?
Currently, It does have 3 bedrooms right now.
3 bedrooms,
Yes,
and you're going to have 1.
yes.
And the other 6?
6 people are going to share 2 bedrooms?
No, so it's up to 6, whatever the state will allow me. So between 2 and 6, but also there is a big garage that will be turned into 2 bedrooms, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I remember this from the past, that all of that occupancy stuff, the statute is between 2 to 6, but the
Yes.
state dictates
Right.
occupancy
Absolutely.
inside the local statute, right?
Yes, because you do have to have 80 square feet for each person. So the state will, that's why I said up to 6. So it just depends on the state.
Okay. I guess for me, I think for me is that the owner says, the person's going to be running the home is going to live there, but my question is for how long, as we approve this and then you decide, I'm going to move out and go get another home. And then, because you had said, because it's basically turned it into a commercial property.
But this is all regulated by the state.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're just zoning. I mean, the state is going to regulate all of that,
The care, the occupancy.
yeah, and make sure everything else is up to par.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
And it sounds like we're going to see more of these, so we just need to understand that.
Okay. All right,
After,
thank you. Are there any other questions or discussion? I was gonna say water break. All right, do I have a motion regarding this application?
I make a motion to approve item 26-263.
I'm going to second.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
All right, the motion passes and the application is recommended for approval and will be heard by the city's mayor and council at their legislative meeting on Thursday, August 13th, and then voted upon them at their meeting on the following Monday, August 17th. Thank you. The second case is item 26-264. Hold a public hearing and consider a request for a special land use permit for educational classrooms, child care learning, accessory use to religious institution for property zone R2, single-family residential detached district for plus or minus 7.4 acres located at 6167 Presley Mill Road in land lot 49, District 1, Section 5, parcel ID 004-901-50001. Application by Rays of Hidden Light Academy. Staff will now present the item.
Good evening again. The applicant for this property is proposing to add the additional use of childcare learning services, also mentioned per letter of intent as a micro school. Again, by way of special land use permit approval on property at 6167 Presley Mill Road, zoned as R2 Single Family Residential Detached. The property currently hosts the Douglasville First United Methodist Church that is primarily used and operates as a religious institution. It is also surrounded by other residential and commercial office uses. The applicant will provide academic classrooms space for educational instruction and related activities during normal school operating hours. Enrollment will include up to 5 students as approved by our fire marshal's office. This addition to the church will have minimum impact on the already existing traffic and parking spaces utilized. And that concludes. I can answer any questions you all have.
Are they just having to do this because we have some stip or something that says you need a SLUP for, okay.
It is an accessory to the religious institution. That is correct.
Okay.
Because I know they got, what, preschool there? Pre-K or? Okay, so to turn it into a child learning or,
Adding the use of.
okay, all right.
Right.
Are there any other questions? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Will the applicant come forward and state their name and address for the record? Tell us what you intend to do on this property.
Hi, my name is Latoya Moore. My address is 9256 Brook Court, Douglasville, Georgia, 30135. Thank you guys so much. I'm the founder of Rays of Hidden Light Academy. Like Ms. Chelsea stated, it is a small personalized learning center for students in 6th through 12th grade. So currently I have 3 students that are interested in the program, and I'm so gracious that Douglasville First United Methodist Church has graciously agreed to partner with us to allow us to use one classroom. Our goal is to provide another option for families, particularly those who have neurodivergent children or other students that can thrive in a smaller, more individualized learning environment. We are committed to being good neighbors, operating responsibly, and working collaboratively with both the city as well as the church. Because our enrollment is intentionally small, we anticipate very little impact on traffic, parking, and other surrounding properties. We are committed to operating in a manner that respects the church campus and the surrounding communities. I also reached out last week and submitted a question regarding the Georgia's Learning Pod Protection Act because I wanted to fully understand whether it has any impact on our education model. We are meeting at the church twice a week, and then the students will be working from their homes 3 times in the week. So I do appreciate the city forwarding that question to the legal department for review. But regardless of the outcome of the legal review, we're here tonight so we can follow the city's process and work cooperatively with everyone involved. Thank you guys for your time in considering this request, and we appreciate the work that has gone into reviewing the application, and we look forward to being a positive addition to the Douglasville community.
Are there any questions from the board?
I have a question. So this is, you said this is early education, but it's grades 6 through 12. That's not considered early.
I didn't say early education.
It says early childhood education program.
Right. So that's,
Not early education.
No, it's 6th through 12th graders.
okay.
And the maximum number is 5.
Correct.
And so what do you guys mainly focus on? I think it's really cool. What do you guys mainly focus on?
So we focus on academics in the morning, and then in the afternoons, we focus on something called creative pods. Typically, when you have neurodivergent students, I know this because I'm a mother, and 2 of mine are autistic. They have natural gifts and talents that they're really good at, like music, art, podcasting, filmmaking, just different interests. And so the afternoons will be focused on working on those creative gifts and talents that they naturally have.
Cool, thank you.
Okay, I think the wording on this is very confusing because the application says childcare learning access. So I thought maybe the Douglasville First was going to go from academy to childcare, like extended, and then it says early childhood education, but it's 6 through 12 years old.
That's her letter of intent, but per our UDO, our NACES code reads as an accessory to the principal. So in our language, we differentiated that by putting child care learning to express what she wanted, but also put as an accessory use to the religious institution without taking the religious institution use away. It's not one way. It's just an addition to.
Yeah, that was the question I had, like, is this gonna?
No, it's not
Step
changing
on.
the principal use of the church. The church should remain, it is just in addition to the church.
But if it's, the confusion for me though is, and this has nothing to do with you, but I don't want it to become a problem for her later because early childhood programs have to go through special licensing.
Right.
I mean, if something listed as an early childhood program, in our city would be subject to that licensing.
Yes, but staff didn't notate early childhood learning in any of our staff reports or on our agenda. That was just within the letter of intent. Ours just specifically spell out childcare, which is what our UDO would put this under.
Okay, so it's not listed anywhere else?
No, ma'am.
The business application notated learning center is what I put on the business application.
Okay.
I did have one question, or a couple questions. Just, I was looking at the diagram provided. This is inside of the church already? So it's just a
Yes,
classroom in the
it's
hall?
one
Okay.
of their
It kind of
classrooms.
stood out like there was getting ready to be some new building and that
No.
kind of thing. So that's why I was like, trying to see what that was. Okay, I'm good. Oh, I did have a question pertaining to enrollment. How does that process work? It's like application sort of thing, or,
Yes, students, there's a platform that I utilize where they enroll if they're interested, yes.
okay, thank you.
So then my question too for staff, because you were saying, where is it again? Up to 5 students. So let's say this thing takes off and they want to go to 10 or 15 or 20 students and use more classrooms. Do they have to come back before?
Not necessarily unless council decides to put a recommended stipulation for how many they want to be enrolled. But I do know if they do come back with a higher number, the fire marshal's office does need to be notified for occupancy change reasons, for safety code things that they would need to update regarding the number of, or capacity rather. But it would technically be up to council if they would like to put a stipulation or condition rather on the, if approved, ordinance to say that they want a limitation on how many can be enrolled.
Okay.
But our code does not have a code requirement like the personal care home does.
Okay.
There's a lot more people on Sunday.
So this is a classroom.
Yes.
It's one classroom.
See, that's why I
But that
asked.
with
You
three,
just said
that only
it.
3 people
There's
gonna be in,
lot
that's a
more
small
people.
classroom, right?
It's a decent, I think it's 24 by 20 feet, so it's a relatively
But y'all don't,
large.
you probably, do you move all around the property? That's just where you have your
Yeah,
instruction?
that's the main
Okay.
place
See,
where we'll be.
that's what I was asking, with what Mark just brought up. On Sunday, there's a lot more kids in there. So if we say, yeah, this is good, for 5 students, and they decide to expand to 20 to 30, they add more kids, well, if you have that many kids during Sunday, or for the pre-K that they have there every day during the week, do they have to come back, or can they just expand however big they want?
Well, remember, they still got it's still a commercial building with fire marshal codes and occupancy codes, and the slup,
I know
is
that,
just
but
for
if
the
they-
use.
But if they go through the fire marshal, and that's fine, then they just can expand without having to come back to us.
But they may not be using that room. This is on Sunday. And these kids won't be here on Sunday.
Correct. Mondays, well, Tuesdays
Yeah, I
and
know.
Thursdays.
I know how big Douglasville First is. There's a lot of room to add a lot of kids. And they got a
Yeah.
gym.
So what's the concern?
I was just wondering, it says because for 5 students, and then I just wondered if they went to 10 to 20 to 30, then
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter, they're,
They
okay.
can go to 100 if,
All right. I was just wondering if,
they can go to the gym.
so, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this project, ask questions, or make other comments? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there anyone who would like to speak other than in favor of this project? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there any need for further discussion? All right, do I have a motion regarding this application?
I'll make a motion to approve item 26-264.
I second that motion.
Okay. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes and the application is recommended for approval and will be heard by the mayor and city council on August 13th and then voted upon them and on the following Monday, August 17th. Thank you. Do we have any staff reports? No staff reports. No further business. All right, then I motion we adjourn.
How are y'all? Pleasure to meet y'all. I am working on it.